Hey everybody, Chris with Night of Living Card Games. Back again for day 7 of Earthborne Rangers. So, starting up the last day of the first week of my first campaign. That was a lot of words there. Anyway, so in the day 6, the last day, I managed to complete the Quiet mission and befriend Quiet the Mega Predator just before my day ended, and I traveled to Kobo's Market. And because of that, I have the option to swap in and out any of my reward cards or cards I had previously placed. So I had Sill's sketchbook and Quiet, and so I decided to put them both in, give them a try. So what I did is I replaced Persuasive and Homeward Bound in my deck and put Quiet and Sill's sketchbook in place of them. All right, so taking a look here on my campaign tracker. So we are starting day 7 here. So I'll just cross that out. So we are still in the downpour weather. Looks like this is the last day of the downpour. Looks like weather service is calling for a nice day tomorrow. And I still have to complete my mission to get over to Spire. So I am currently at Kobo's Market. So I'm right next to Spire. So I'm in pretty good shape to get that done. But I may spend a little bit of time at Spire and do a little bit of exploring, see if I can find another mission or two. I will say, the last couple of days, as of the time of recording this, they're not out on YouTube yet, but I realized today I may have made some mistakes in those gameplays. Cards with the obstacle trait, I thought they just prevented you from traveling. I realized looking at the rules earlier today that they actually stop you from interacting past them. So if I have an obstacle within reach, I can't interact with cards in along the way or the location while that obstacle is there and active. So I'll go back and watch those and make comments, notes on the YouTube playthroughs, but I may have screwed that up. But oh well, still learning the game. So let's take a look here at Kobo's Market. So Kobo's Market is a one presence location. It has a progress threshold of 4, has a test on it, focus plus connect against a threshold of 3, to haggle with the vendors of the market, to return a gear from your hand to your collection. Then choose a starting gear from your collection that you meet the aspect requirements for and add it to your hand. This alteration to your deck is permanent. So basically what that means is if I have a gear in my hand that I don't want, I can just go and pull another gear out and basically swap it out. One card for one card, and it's permanent. So I think I'm going to try that because there are some nice items in there that I wasn't able to get before that I meet the aspect requirements for. So you still need to meet, some of them have a requirement that you've got to be a 2 or a 3 in a stat. You still have to meet that. But we'll see how things play out. But first things first, we got to go through the arrival setup stuff. So we can read coming into Kobo's Market. Let's see. Given Ken Robo's Mississippian heritage, it's not surprising that he set up his market next to a clear spring-fed lake. You see the market, bathed in sunlight, bursting with wares from both inside and outside the valley. You hear the joyful chatter of bartering customers and merchants as you approach. Right, and the lead ranger says search the path deck for the next feature and put it into play. All right. So the next feature is a shale scree. Because I came over from Kobo's Market from Ancestors Grove, I do have to use the Mountain Pass set, and well, that's a feature, and that's an obstacle. So that is along the way. So it comes in along the way, has a presence value of 2, a progress threshold of 6. It does say obstacle, so I'm going to remember this time not to go past it. Has an awareness plus conflict test against a threshold of 2 to scramble up the slope of the shifting rocks. To add 3 progress to this feature for every 2 effort. If you fail, resolve its blue challenge effect. Its blue mountain challenge effect is move this card within reach, and then it fatigues you. Move each being that is within reach to another area. And then the red crest effect is if this feature is within reach, shuffle it into the path deck and suffer 1 injury. All right. Well, let's draw our opening hand and see how things go here. I got my goggles, insightful, eagle eye, Oru, another Oru, my Paratrepsis whistle. Okay, I don't need 2 copies of Oru. I think I'm going to not do insightful. Debating. I think I'll keep Eagle Eye. Nah. We'll keep our goggles. Pitch Eagle Eye. So we're gonna keep these 3, draw 3 more. My boundary sensor, my phonoscopic headset, and quiet. Again, this is one of the rewards that I got in the last day when I befriended Quiet. It is requires a 2 fit, costs 2 fit energy to put out. It is a being, a mammal, and a companion. Presence of 2, harm value of 3. It is friendly, persistent, and unique. And then exhaust to add 3 harm to a being, and harm to Quiet equals that being's presence. All right. All right, so that is done. So let's get ourselves going here. All right, so first things first, let's spend 2 to get Oru the sheepdog out. We are going to spend 1 to get my boundary sensor out. And that comes in with 4 sensors on it. Now we're going to try to make some progress on the shale scree. We're going to put in 2 energy, exhaust the boundary sensor, and use a charge. So we are a 3 versus 2. +1, beautiful. So that is a success, and with the +1, I am a 4 progress on it. So that is 4 out of 6. Right, now let's take a look at these challenge effects. It is a sun, so because we're still in the downpour, I remove a rain and fatigue myself. And nothing on my mission, which is over here, which is still just Journey to Spire. And then nothing on the shale scree, so that's good. Let's just try to get that scree out, right? That shale scree out right now. I don't like having it. So we're going to do the awareness and explore test against a 2. So I'm going to do my 2 awareness. I'm going to use my phonoscopic headset as an icon. So I'm a 3 versus 2. Oh, I did it again. Always forget to shuffle until I reach for that next challenge card. So I am going to be a 3 versus a 2. Zero. So I succeed. My effort is 3, so this goes up to 7, which is enough to get rid of it. Thank goodness. All right, and now we get the yellow sun challenge effect, so I get fatigued again. All right. I think I do want to do this, but I don't. I mean, that's a 3 test, and I've only got one. I mean, I could pitch some icons, but the icons that I have, I don't want to pitch. That would be quiet in my goggles just to be even. So as much as I want to, I may not be able to do that, but we'll see. Nothing else I can really do. I'm not going to put my whistle out. At this moment, I'm just going to say I'm going to rest. I don't have enough progress to move, so we ready ourselves up. Get our energy back. Draw a card, which is Artel's Bolting Rod. And now we draw a path card. Oh, it is Oro Voss, Traveler. So let's see here. 81. Excuse me. You hear the call from a little ways off and turn to see a woman striding towards you. My name is Aura. I'm looking for my daughter. Have you seen her? About this tall, green tunic? Asks a lot of questions? You mention that you haven't seen her, and she throws up her hands. She was supposed to meet me at the ranger station hours ago. Can you help me find her? Okay. So then I have a choice. I can... sorry. There we go. So if I clear... Oh, no, not yet. I don't have a choice yet. So if I clear her with progress, to help her find Quizzy. All right. So presence of 1, harm threshold of 3, and a progress threshold of 3. All right. So what we are going to do is we are going to do a fitness test. We're going to commit a boundary sensor to just traverse up against Kobo's Market. So that is a 4 versus 1. That is a 0. So I succeed, and I get 4 progress there. Unfortunately, it's another yellow sun, so I fatigue myself again. And no other yellow sun effects. All right. I'm going to try to connect with Aura Voss. So I'm a 2 versus a 1. That is a 0, so I succeed and get 2 progress on her. I find that 2. Blue challenge effect. Nothing, 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 and nothing. All right, so let's have Aura move her along. Up 2 along the way. Get to add 2. So that is enough to clear her via progress. All right. You offer to help, and Aura smiles gratefully. Thank you so much. I've been tracking Quizzy for hours. I think I know where she's going, but somehow the little trailblazer is always one step ahead of me. Maybe you can help? Remove all progress. Now my choice. I can either agree to help her, so it is remove all progress and attach helping hand to Aura, or not today to discard her and soothe to fatigue. You know what? Not today, Aura. I'm sorry. I'm busy. So we're going to discard her and then soothe to fatigue, which is a bold and another Paratrepsis whistle. Man. I'm so tempted to try this, but the best I can get is 3 versus 3 right now. And that's pitching a couple good cards. So that is probably not a great thing to do. Meh. I just have to move over one spot, so I am actually going to ditch Quiet and my Hydra Lens goggles. So my awesome new companion that I just got, and right now the only way I have to scout cards, path deck, to try to change out some gear. So I am a 3 versus a 3. +1. Boom. So I succeed. All right. So I successfully haggled. So I get to return a gear from your hand to your collection. I've got 2 Paratrepsis whistles, so I'm going to choose one of them to return to my gear. Choose a starting gear from your collection that you meet the aspect requirements for and add it to your hand. This alteration is permanent. Alright, so I did some looking ahead of time, and I think I decided I am going to grab a special little cloak that we've got. So I am instead going to trade out one of my whistles for a camo weave cloak. It has a requirement of 2 spirit, which I do meet. Costs 2 spirit to put in. Has a connect icon on it. Comes in with 3 charges. Use 1 charge when you would suffer 1 or more fatigue from a path card. Reduce the fatigue suffered to 0. And flavor text says, with a clockwise rotation of the clasp, the surface of the cloak adopts the patterns and colorations of your environment, making you all but invisible to the untrained eye. So that is out of the Artificer's specialty. So when it says starting equipment or starting gear, basically it's the stuff, it's the non-reward stuff. So it could be a background card, could be a specialty card. All right, so these go away. So I think that was worth it. I've got nothing else to do because I don't have. Oh, and I do have enough on there. I do not have enough energy to do anything. I only have awareness, and there's nothing to avoid. So I think. So I'm going to rest, and I think I'm going to choose to travel. Let's just try to get this journey mission out of the way, and then see what the Elder says before I decide what else to do. So I am going to come over here. I'm at Kobo's Market. I'm going to travel to the Spire using the Lakeshore path. So let me get that set up. All right, we're back. Through the magic of pausing and editing, you didn't realize that I just spent this last 3 or 4 minutes desperately looking for the Spire location card. And then I remembered, oh yeah, it's under the mission. So anyway, so now that panic has subsided, it says when you arrive at the appropriate location, read entry 1.50. And then it's got 1.50 is really just, hey, which one are you going to? So Spire. It says complete the Journey Spire mission. All right. So let us complete this. At the end of your travels, the tower at the center of Spire has never looked more welcoming. You couldn't shake the haunted look on Calypso's face when she saw those corpses, and ever since that day, you felt a presence, like a patient predator lurking in the underbrush, hounding your every step. Gain the Watcher in the Brush mission. Okay. Watcher in the Brush. Watcher in the Brush. You have felt a lurking presence following you since your discovery of the strange biomeld corpses. It generally stays out of sight, so you're going to have to confront it to figure out what it wants. Path deck assembly. Add the mysterious Verdesian to the path deck. And it says clear the mysterious Verdesian with progress. Okay. All right, so that is that mission, which I'll just put there. A little bit more flavor here. As you cross the bridge to the center of town, Ben Amon, pilot of the Swift and master artificer, joins you. Hello there. Elder Thrush asked that I come to Spire to check on the hydroelectric turbines just in case they suffered any damage during the flood, he says. What brings you here? You explain what brought you here, and his smile fades. Without delay, he accompanies you to see Elder Orlin. You find Elder Mora Orlin in the heart of the carbon forge, bent over an air lathe with a heavy piece of carbon in her powerful hands. When she sees you, she shuts off the howling machine and straightens. What is it? She growls. Her flinty stare never wavers as you describe the strange beings with the eyeless faces and the dangerous-looking claws. When you finish, she grunts and nods to you and Ben Amon. My mother told me about these. When we first came over the passes into the valley, our people encountered beings like the ones you described, vicious biomelds. They call themselves reclaimers. You ask why reclaimers? I'm not certain, says Elder Orlin, but they are biomelds, like the caustic mulcher and the toxin eater, and like all biomelds, they serve an ancient purpose. Perhaps they are compelled to capture something they perceive to be lost, or they search for some possession they believe to be theirs. The best way to discover the answer is to find them and observe their behavior. When you head out into the valley, keep your eyes open. If you find reclaimers, see what you can learn about them. Ben Amon clears his throat. Elder Orlin, searching the valley could take weeks. If we want to know where they are, I can set up a scanning rig. We just need to place a few relays around the valley, and I can sweep for these reclaimers. Elder Orlin shakes her head and gives Ben a bemused look. Sensors? Always sensors. We have all the sensors we need. Right here, she taps her chest. And here, she taps her temple. Use your instincts. Use your intellect, and you will find them. Ben doesn't waver. Elder, it's a big valley. If we don't send some sort of help, they could hike within a half-mile of a swarm of these and never know it. He turns to you. What do you think? Do you want to spend weeks searching the valley for these things, or discover exactly where they are in just a few days? And now I have a choice. I can either agree with Ben Amon to deploy the sensors, or agree with Elder Orlin to rely on your senses. I'm an explorer. I want to go see things for myself. So I am going to agree with Elder Orlin. Elder Orlin grunts approvingly. You see, Ben, I'm not the only one who believes we are naturally equipped to accurately perceive and interpret our surroundings. Write impressed Elder Orlin on the campaign tracker. All right. Impressed Elder Orlin. An ironic sentiment coming from the greatest artificer in the valley, Ben replies. Nonsense. The tools we craft here at the Carbon Forge require real human effort. Our Carbon Forge blades, for example, have no equal in quality or durability, but they are nothing without the intention and skill of their wielder. A true artificer does not craft gadgets to replace the senses, but creates tools to support and enhance them. Well said, Elder Orlin. Well said. No matter how many years of experience I might accrue, I will be forever your apprentice. Elder Orlin sets down her air lathe, gives Ben Amon a hug, and smiles at him. Not forever, Ben. Not forever. She turns to you. Take care out there. Stay alert. And may the ancestors and your instincts guide you. Gain the secret invasion mission. Things are getting spicy here in the Vale. We got a secret invasion. We got watchers following me. So, secret invasion. Search for signs of reclaimers to figure out how they present, how many are present in the valley. Path deck assembly. At any non-pivotal location, search the general set for 5 reclaimer seekers and shuffle them into the valley set before adding those cards to the path deck. And it has a test, awareness plus exploration, to search for signs of these strange biomelds, to scout a number of path cards equal to twice your effort. Put each reclaimer card you look at into play. And then if I clear a reclaimer seeker, I get to read an entry. All right. So we've got to go do that. And the Watcher in the Brush says, add the mysterious Verdesian to the path deck. I got to go find that card. There it is. I won't look at it yet. I had shuffled up the path deck already, not realizing that I was going to have to add more to it. All right, that is that. Now, let us get ourselves to Spire. So Spire is a 1 presence 4 progress threshold. It has a test of fitness plus exploration against a threshold of 2 to enter the bustling town of Spire, to move your ranger token to this location and draw 1 card from the Spire deck. And it says when you would draw 1 path card, if your ranger token is on this location and there are cards remaining in the Spire deck, you may draw 1 card from the Spire deck instead. All right, path deck, it says don't add the Spire set to the path deck, shuffle it separately and set it face down next to the path deck. I'm putting it down here. And then on arrival, draw 1 path card. All right. On arrival, it's the mysterious Verdesian right on top. All right then. Wasted no time on that mission. Entry number 90. I swear I shuffled it appropriately. I didn't cheat. The trail leads over a small rise, and you find yourself looking down into a clearing. In the center, maybe 50 meters away, you can see a reclaimer. Strangely, it's standing perfectly still. Then you see something moving alongside it. What you thought was a large flowering weed appears to be some sort of being. As you watch, it runs an appendage lightly along the reclaimer's back, and you see small white flowers sprout from its spine. You take a single step, and even that slight movement causes the being's head to turn in your direction. You're going to have to approach very cautiously if you don't want to scare it off. Clear the Verdesian with progress to silently observe its behavior. All right, so it comes in within reach, has a presence value of 1, harm threshold of 4, and a progress threshold of 5 per ranger. And it has 2 challenge effects. Blue Mountains. If there is another active flora, exhaust it, then shuffle this being into the path deck as it disappears in a geometric tangle of vines. And the red crest challenge effect is if there is an active prey, exhaust it and add harm to this being equal to that prey's presence. So I guess the prey will just come and eat it. All right, so that is within reach. That is all the arrival setup. So now we are into refresh. Drawing a card, which is Sill's Sketchbook. Okay, and now we draw a regular path card for the start of the round. It is Romping Lutrinol. So it is both predator and prey, so I'll have to keep that in mind for the Verdesian. Presence of 1, ambush, so I do get fatigued. And it has a 5 progress threshold and a 2 harm threshold. All right. So I think first things first, I'm going to try to avoid the Romping Lutrinol. So I am going to not commit any icons to this. I'm just going to go 2 to 1 to try to exhaust the Romping Lutrinol. -1, so I succeed. 1 to 1, so I get to exhaust this. Now Yellow Sun. All right, that is the last rain cloud off of Downpour. So I am fatigued 1. And then it flips over to Gathering Storm. And during the rest phase, or the refresh phase, I will add 2 clouds to it. And once there are 4 or more, we flip it over. All right, over here, missions, no challenge effects on any of the missions. So this is exhausted, so it doesn't trigger. And then this has nothing on it. So, all right. So next, let us... I want to... Well, as nice as the sketchbook would be, I want to deal with this mysterious Verdesian first. So we're going to commit 2 spirit icons and the sketchbook, which has 2 connect icons, to try to connect with the mysterious Verdesian. +1. So not only do I succeed, I actually get enough to clear it via progress. So, all right, well, let's look here. Can't say I was expecting that, but... All right, so I cleared using progress. You stay far enough away not to alert the being and decide to follow it as it leaves the reclaimer and disappears into the underbrush. As you follow, you notice strange plants along the trail. The tiny, twisting vines don't appear to be native to the valley, but look similar to plants that you heard of in the Verdesa. Perhaps that's where this being is from. But in any case, perhaps you can follow the trail left by these vines. Complete the Watcher in the Brush mission and gain the Trail of Vines mission. Okay. Nope, that's not the back. So the mission cards are double-sided to help things, but this one does not happen to be on the back of that one. So let's put you back, and we're looking for Trail of Vines. There we go. You might be able to track the mysterious Verdesian through its effects on the local flora. When a flora comes into play, place 1 vine token on it, and when a card with vine tokens on it is cleared, move those tokens here. Have 2 per ranger or more vine tokens on this card, and read entry. And it has 3 different challenge effects. Sun is move 1 vine token from a flora to another flora. Blue Mountain is a residual energy, causes the plants to grow rapidly, add 1 vine token to the flora. And red crest is, did those plants just nip at you? Each ranger suffers fatigue equal to the number of vine tokens within reach. All right, so we gain that. So it doesn't say to do anything special with the mysterious Verdesian, so I guess I'm just discarding it because I cleared it with progress. All right, now we do challenge effects. Blue Mountain, nothing, 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 and exhausted. All right, so we're good there. I kind of want to enter the Spire and check out the Spire deck, but now I'm looking for Flora, so I think we are going to try to traverse the Spire. So 3 energy and 1 off my boundary sensor. So I am a 4 versus a 1. -1, I succeed, and I get 3 progress. Blue mountain effects are not in play right now. I think I'm going to spend 1 to get my Paratrepsis whistle out. And that is all I can do this. Oh, you know what? We're going to have Oru go bop the Lutronol up there and throw a couple progress on it. And now we are done, and we are going to end my turn. I'm not going to travel. I don't have the enough progress to do so, even if I wanted to. We're going to draw a card, which is my Hydra Lens Goggles. Nice, my other one. And now we draw a path card. It is Carnivorous Naiad. It is a feature, it is a predator, it is flora, and it is water. So presence of 2, harm value of 6, progress threshold of 9. Ouch. You cannot remove your ranger token here except for the following test. Fitness plus conflict against threshold of 2 to pull yourself free of the constricting lakeweed to add harm to this feature equal to your fit aspect and remove your ranger token from this feature. It has a yellow challenge sound effect. The ranger with the most fatigue must discard 1 awareness or move the ranger token to this feature. And then red crest is if your ranger token is on a water feature. The Naiad stabs you with its teeth. Suffer 1 injury. Well, that's rude. Ooh. I don't know how well you can see, but that is, yeah, it's vines with a toothy mouth on it. Okay, so that is actually coming along the way. So that is flora. So then when a flora comes into play, place a vine token on it. All right. So it is a feature, so I can do my fitness test. It is not a being, so I can't use Oru on it. So, all right. So yeah, let's try to. We'll do 3, and you know what? We're going to use our bold here. So we are a 5 versus a 2. That is a 0. So I succeed, and I get 5 progress on here. All right, now challenge effects. Yellow Sun. Oh, I did, of course, because that happens all the time. I forgot to put clouds back on a gathering storm. So we're at 2. All right. Nothing and weather. Oh. If it must have come this way. Move 1 vine token from a flora to another flora. That's the only one, so I can't complete it. All right, down here, looking at the Lutrinol. If there is another Romping Lutrinol in play, there is not. And taking a look at the Naiad, if the ranger with the most fatigue must discard 1 awareness or move their token to this feature. I'll just spend an awareness. That's fine. All right. So, oh no, I had 5 progress and they're not 4. So, Oru is going to herd the Lutrinol back over to within reach. Oh, it is an ambush, so that is the downside that I need to remember. I'm sure I forgot that in some of the other playthroughs. Every time one of these comes back into reach, he ambushes me, which is not great, but that's okay. And then I'm going to try to connect to it. Oh, and I get 2 more progress, so not 5, but to 4. And now I'm going to try to connect to it 2 to 1. -1, so 1 to 1, I succeed. I get 1 progress on it. That is enough to clear it out. Blue Mountain, no Blue Mountains. Okay, I don't have enough energy to pay for my goggles or my camel weave cloak, so we are going to call it. So we are going to end our turn to rest. I don't have enough progress to travel, so I can't, so we are in the refresh phase. Draw a card, which is Healing Touch. And then this gets 4 clouds on it, which is enough to trigger another downpour. All right. Draw a path card. It is a freshwater blue kelpweed, which is a feature, flora, water, and has a presence of 0, a harm threshold of 2, a progress threshold of 3. And because it is flora, we get to add a token there. All right, the kelpweed does have a test, focus plus knowledge. Against a threshold of 2 to wrap the pungent leaves around a wound to add 1 harm to this feature and either heal 1 injury from the ranger or discard 2 injury from a being. All right, we are going to try this we are going to try to traverse here. We're going to use our last charge off of boundary sensors and our 3 energy. Not going to commit Artel's Vaulting Rod to this, though. Because this isn't a presence of 0, I believe technically it fatigues me, but it fatigues me for 0, so not a big deal. So I am a 4 versus 2. +1. Awesome. So I clear this out. That is enough to clear that out. And then I get to move the vine token over to that mission. And now we get Yellow Sun Effect, which is remove a cloud and it fatigues me. And then here, it must have come this way, move 1 vine token from a flora to another flora while there isn't a flora anymore. All right, so that is that. Unfortunately, I don't have any more fitness energy to try that test. I think what we're going to do is we are going to spend 2 spirit to get out my camel weave cloak. And that comes in with 3 charges on it. I'm running out of generic dice, so I'm going to use a progress dice. So I currently have 4 gear icons in there. So then I'm going to spend 2 awareness to get my Hydra Lens goggles out. All right. Yeah, nothing else really for me to do here, so we are going to rest and hit the refresh phase because I still can't travel. I don't have enough progress. So put the energy back. Draw a card, which is Healing Touch. And now we draw another path card, which is Romping Lutrinol, which ambushes me for 1. All right. We are going to have Oru go scamper this guy off, push him along the way, and add 2 progress. We are now going to try to traverse the kelpweed. We're going to commit 3 icons to that, and that's about all I can do at the moment. -1, so I do succeed, unfortunately, with only 2 progress, which is not enough to clear it. Now we do the challenge effects. Nothing with the weather here. Trail of Vine says, though, the plants just nipped at me, so each ranger suffers a fatigue equal to the number of vine tokens within reach. So there is 1. So we're fatigued again. Romping Lutrinol says if there are other active Lutrinols, which there are not. We are going to use a charge off of Hydra Lens goggles and spend the 2 awareness. So we will be 2 versus 1 to just kind of scout the path deck. What the heck? -1. So I succeed, but I can only scout 1 path card. So what do we got? We got Tidewater Muckets. I'm going to leave that on top, and I'm going to draw it. So that is a being of prey, water, and food. So it is not flora, so I don't have to put a vine on it. And it's got that fitness test to soothe some fatigue, which is nice. And now we check Blue Mountains. Blue Mountain is residual energy causes the plant to grow rapidly. Add a vine token to a flora. So I have to put it here. So now it's 2 tokens on it. The Lutrinol says, if there is an active predator other than a romping Lutrinol, there is not. I don't have much else to do with the spirit energy here, so I'm going to spend the 2 spirit energy. I'm going to try to connect with the Lutrinol. Those are both presence of 0, so it is not going to fatigue me to go and try this. So I am a 2 versus a 1. That is 0, so I succeed, and I get 2 progress on it, so it's at 4 of 5. Yellow sun effect. Lose a cloud, fatigue again. Ugh. And then it must have come this way. Move 1 vine token from a flora to another flora. I don't have any other flora. All right, well, I think we're just gonna rest here. Still don't have enough progress to be able to travel yet. So we're going to refresh everything, and that's it. Bring my energy back, draw a card, which is insightful. And then we draw another path card. It is a Lutrinol Holt. So this is a feature, lair, and water. Presence of 2. Comes in with 0 lures, 4 harm threshold, 2 per ranger, progress threshold on it, and then a focus plus connect test against a threshold of 2 to coax the Lutrinols back to their to the lair to add 1 lure to this feature. And you can discard 1 token from an equipped food to commit 1 effort. Then if you clear with progress, you get to shuffle a romping Lutrinol into the path deck for each lure here. And then the blue Mountain Challenge effect is exhaust this feature, search the path deck and discard for a romping Lutrinol and put it into play. All right. All right, we are going to try to do the fresh blue kelpweed. We're just going to go 2 to 1. We're going to chance it here. -1. So I succeed with one effort. So I get to put 3 on it, which clears this, which means I get to put 3 on there, which triggers the mission. I'm not sure order of operations, if the mission triggers first or I do the challenge effects first. I'll do the challenge effects first because I think that's completing the action before I check. I don't know. Nothing. This mission says, did those plants just nip at you? Each ranger suffers fatigue equal to the number of vines tokens within reach, which there are none now. And then nothing on the Holt. And the Lutrinol is if there are other active Lutrinols, which there are not. All right. So now there are 2 or more tokens on it. So I get to read an entry. Discard all the vine counters off of Trail of Vines and check off a bubble next to Trail of Vine on the campaign tracker. Which I guess I never wrote that one down. So I got 1. There's something if Spirit Speaker Null is in play, which is not. All right, so there's 1 progress on it. The trail leads deep into the wilderness, far away from any habitation in the valley. Soon it starts to parallel a set of reclaimer tracks. Interesting. Why is the Verdesian following the reclaimers? Okay, that's it. So I guess I have to clear it 3 times, probably, to get my thing to work. Or to finish the mission up. All right, well, we'll have to see if we can do that. All right, so I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to try to do this fitness test and knowledge. Fitness and knowledge to pry open the shell. I get to add 1 harm to it and soothe 2 fatigue. I'm just going to go 1 to 1. -1, I fail. Shoot. Probably shouldn't have done that. So here, mission, add a vine token to a flora. There aren't any here. Exhaust this feature. Go find a romping Lutrinol and put it into play. Definitely shouldn't have done this. At least not in this order. Okay. Blue challenge effect on the romping Lutrinol. Oh, it comes into play here, which means it fatigues me. Lovely. And then the blue challenge effect on the Lutronol is if there is an active predator other than a Lutronol, which there is not. And this says if there is an active predator, which there is, exhaust it and add harm to the muckets equal to that being's presence. Okay, so that is 1. I guess I should have committed more. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to connect with this Lutronol over here. 2 versus 1. 0, I succeed. That is enough to get rid of it. Red challenge effect on the mission is suffer fatigue equal to the number of vine tokens within reach, which there are none. That one's exhausted, so nothing there. Right, we are going to now use Oru to go push this along and put 2 progress there. We are going to try the HydroLens goggles. I've got some of my other tokens out, so we'll do that. We'll just go... We'll go just 2 versus 1. Sure. 0, so I succeed, so I get to scout 2 cards. And then draw 1. 1, 2. Tidewater muckets and fresh blue kelpweed. I'm going to leave both on the top, but I'm going to put muckets on top because I know the red challenge effect is coming and I will suffer fatigue if I put the kelpweed out. So I'll wait until next turn to do that. So I get the muckets out. Just want to make sure that I haven't hit a reshuffle because I have gone through a lot of these challenge cards. RNG says that's absolutely possible to happen, but yeah, I had one that I forgot to shuffle in, so we'll shuffle it in now. Oh well. All right. There's really nothing for me to do with my focus. I could try to scout my deck and do it, but I don't want to. And the focus test for the Lutronol hold to put a lure on it is a threshold of 2, so I'd have to commit some icons to that. And I don't really want to do that, so we're just gonna call that a day, and we are going to rest up. So we're gonna do this and draw a path card, and hey, look, it's the fresh blue kelpweed. Comes in with a ranger token. Oh, I forgot to draw a card, which is Oru the sheepdog. Alright, my turn. I want to do some fatigue, but I need to do the Alright, we're gonna chance it. 1, 2, and then I'm also gonna commit my vaulting rod. So 3 icons to try to traverse this flora feature. -1. Dang it. So only 2 progress on there. And let's see what this does to me. Nothing here. Add a vine token to a flora. Well, that's actually nice for me. Here. Go get a romping lutronol. So he fatigues me for 1. Lovely. The romping lutronols are if there is an active predator other than a romping lutronol, which there is not. Tidewater muckets, so go exhaust a predator, add harm equal to that being's presence. So that is 1 here. That mucket goes away. And then this is done, and we get 1 here. So I mean, I could use my whistle to cancel it. But I'm not going to. All right, we're going to try. I want to go after the Tidewater muckets because I got, how many cards do I have in my fatigue? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards in my fatigue stack that I can't do anything about. But if I clear this kelpweed, I'll get a 2nd dot on the trail of vines. So we're going to try it. 1 to 1. 0. Nice. So that is a 3rd progress. So I succeed. This goes away. I have 2 there, but I'm going to continue with what I was doing before and just go through the challenge effects first. Mission, add a token to flora. There aren't any now. These are exhausted. If there's an active predator, there is not. All right. So I get to read that entry again, but now I have a 2nd dot on it. You find the Verdesian in a clearing, again standing beside a docile reclaimer with small white flowers growing out of its back. You watch as the reclaimer slinks away, and the Verdesian slowly turns to face you when suddenly it seems to melt into the earth. You rush into the clearing, but the Verdesian is gone. You do, however, find several dart-like thorns in the grass. They drip with some sort of goo that, when you take a whiff, causes your senses to reel. You suspect is a powerful soporific, and maybe how the Verdesian captures the reclaimers. But what is it doing with them? You'll have to pick up its trail again to learn more. All right. That is that. I guess, let's see if we can try to clear out some of these lutronols, I guess. Is there anything bad that... No, there's nothing bad that happens if I take a test now, other than I might get fatigued. But all right, so 2 to 1, trying to connect to this lutronol over here. -1, so I succeed with 1 progress, so that's up to 3. Red effect is I suffer fatigue with the number of vine tokens. There aren't any, and everything else is exhausted. There's only 2 cards left in the path deck. I'm not going to bother to scout there. Forgot to take the tokens off of the Trail of Vines. That resets. Yeah, I have another copy of, or not that I have money or energy to spend on any of that. So there's nothing else I can do. So we are going to, I think I'm just going to, last few turns, try to get the last trail of vines, hopefully. So we're going to rest, ready everything up, draw a card, which is a boundary sensor. Very nice. And then we draw a path card, which is Tributary Stream. It is a feature, a water, and obstacle. Okay, I can use Spirit plus Connect to soak my feet in the cold, clear water to move my Ranger token here and soothe fatigue equal to your effort. I like that idea. All right. So, first things first. Oru moves, running out of room in my setup here, moves that Lutrinol along the way, shoos him along. I'm going to spend 1 to get this boundary sensor into play. Comes in with 4. I'm going to spend 2 to do this fitness test. So I am a 2 versus a 1. You know, I'm not going to be using the icon for anything else. We'll commit Insightful to be a 3 versus a 1. Of course, it's a +1. So I succeed. So I get to add 1 harm to this and soothe 2 fatigue. Eagle Eye and Riri. Oh, beautiful. And this goes away. Red challenge effect, nothing in the weather or mission is if there was a vine token, which there is not. The Lutrinol says, if there are other active romping Lutrinols, each of them and this being, exhaust each of them and this being, and suffer 1 injury. Well, I think I'm going to be using my Paratrepsis Whistle to cancel that effect, because I don't want to take that. All right, we are going to now do this test. A Spirit plus Connect against 2. So we will use 2 Spirit Energy and my extra Oru to be 3 versus 2. +1, I succeed. So I get to move my Ranger token here. So I was a 3, +1 is a 4. So I get to soothe fatigue equal to your effort. And because all the Ranger tokens are there, this clears. So I get to soothe 4 fatigue. Artel's Fishing Rod, Eagle Eye, Sill's Sketchbook, and a Walk With Me. Very, very nice. All right, and now red challenge effects. Again, I would suffer fatigue equal to the number of vine tokens. There aren't any. And this time I'm going to remember that there is a reshuffle icon there. All right, so I have 1 path card left. So the question is, do I try to scout just so I can draw it and get something into play here? I think I'm going to try. We're going to use the last icon, the last charge off of the Hydra Lens goggles. So I'm a 2 versus 1 to try to scout the deck. 0. So I succeed with an effort of 2. So technically I get to scout 2 path cards, but there's only 1, which means I'm going to have to draw it, which is the Tributary Stream. So it's an obstacle. I did the Spirit plus Connect I could do a focus plus traverse against 2 to move my token there and add a progress to the location. That wouldn't be terrible, but I don't think I have the icons for that. All right, blue challenge effect. Add a vine token to a flora. There aren't any flora. This feature is not. Oh, I get to. Yep, I get to go find another romping Lutrinol. Are there any left? Are there 3 here? Yes, there are. There's 4. All right, so that comes in, unfortunately, and fatigues me. Oy. All right. I don't have energy to do anything else. Actually, at this point, I am going to use a charge so I did not, for my candleweave cloak, so I do not suffer that fatigue, because I'm getting really low here. Or camel weave. I think I said candle weave. All right. That is all I can do. Well, I really want to chance it as a 2 versus 2. Do I commit Riri to it? I guess the question is, I am not leaving this location, so I might just not even worry about the tributary stream or leaving this location, because I don't think I'm going to be able to, so we are just going to call it quits. Well, not call it quits. We're going to rest. We can't travel, and we're in the refresh phase. Draw a card, walk with me. And then we draw a path card. Come on. Oh, come on. The other tributary stream. That's just ridiculous. Okay. All right. We're going to use Uru to go move this guy up. So, what I am going to do is I am going to spend 1 awareness energy to play Eagle Eye to scout 3 path cards and draw 1. I am not obstacles, as I learned earlier today, you can't interact with cards past an obstacle. However, the path deck is not considered that. I'm interacting with my moment, not any of the cards here, and that's not considered it. So, shite. Sorry about that, folks. I made the ultimate board games sin. I had a drink next to my stuff, and I knocked it over. Thankfully, it was just water, but did have to rush and take care of things. Thankfully, my cards are sleeved, so none of the cards were damaged or anything like that. But, whew, yeah. Was running the risk and came to bite me. So, all right, where was? Oh yes, I was scouting with Eagle Eye. So I'm looking at 3 cards, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm drawing 1. So I need at least 1 more flora. Verdesian back. Flora. Yeah, we're going to say no. No. Well, yeah, I guess we kind of have to. I'm going to put the muckets on the bottom, and then I'm going to put the Verdesian on top and draw it. It is a flora, so it does come in with a vine token. All right, we are... All right, we are going to try to connect with the Verdesian. We are going to put in 2 spirit energy. We're going to commit a sketchbook and a walk with me. That is 5 total. 5 versus 1. It's a -1, so I succeed. And I don't have any other progress on it. So hang on a second. Time to break out one of the secondary deluxe token sets I got. So that is 4 progress. Now the challenge effects. So this fatigues me 1. It's not a path card, so I can't... Oh, not an injury, but it's not a path card, so I can't use my Camo Weave Cloak, so I just suffer it. So I've got 2 left. All right. And then what does the Luchinol say? If there's another romping Luchinol play, it frolics among the reeds, move it within reach. That's my game. Because there are 3 of them, so I have to trigger it on all of them. And they each have ambush. Well, this is what I get. For not... not dealing with them. So... And then I have nothing to fatigue, so my day ends. Well, darn. Not that it wouldn't have ended my day anyway, so I guess I could have done Oru first to move it out of the way, and then I would have had enough to do it. I didn't realize that I didn't remember that effect was there. All right. Well, that's a shame. I need to check to make sure. I'm pretty sure that both of these, because they're mission stories, that both of these are persistent, so they're going to stay into play, and so I continue with them tomorrow. So I don't think I wrote down Secret Invasion, so I should do that. On the bright side, the next time I play this, I'll be in a perfect day, so I will have nicer weather, but... Alright, so we made some good progress. We got 2 out of 3 Trail of Vines. We haven't done anything with Secret Invasion yet, but that's okay. So I guess we'll just... I don't think... Now I think the Mysterious Verdessa is not going to be in the next day, because that was specific to the other mission. It said add the Mysterious Verdessa, and I don't think that the setup instructions will tell me to do that, but that's okay. There are some flora places here. Let's see, next one, would it have been? Well, it would have been a flora, not a great one, but I had another eagle eye in my hand to go find another one. But alas. So, shorter day, but didn't quite end the way that I wanted to, but still making progress on the mission, finding out what this Mysterious Verdesian is, and then tomorrow we will go and try to find some more information on this Secret Invasion. So thank you as always for watching. If you like it, hit the like button. You want to see more of this, hit the subscribe button. If you notice anything that I did wrong, and I'm sure I did, feel free to comment and let me know, so hopefully I don't make the same mistakes again. And otherwise, I'm a game week into this, and I am really enjoying this game. The open aspect of it, even though I haven't really explored too much as of yet, is a lot of fun. It's the story is interesting. The locations, the artwork is just gorgeous. The gameplay is good. There are some, obviously, with a brand new game, there are going to be some rules things that are kind of like, what do they mean here? Or this is a little confusing, or this isn't worded quite right. But all in all, I think they did a great job with this game. It is a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with the mission. But that will not be today because my day is over. So, as always, thank you all for watching. And I will be back with more Earthborne Rangers. And before long, I will also be back with more Marvel Champions. So, have a great night, everybody.